everybody. How are you? I am so happy to be here today. This is our third month of our friendship theme in Junk Journaling Jamboree. So we call this our Junk Journal Jamboree Day. So we have a whole wonderful lineup of presenters for you today, our creators. So coming up right after me is going to be Christy from Funky Junk Inspiration. And so then following her, we still have Hanging with Mama Hall, The Messy Craft Corner, Becky's Whimsy. We've got The Shabby Heart by Vines, and then bringing it home for the evening is going to be Christy's Crafty Cottage. So you get 3 Christys today. so how's that? I tell you, everybody on here, we love watching everybody, right? And we just have so much fun. We love bringing you all of these fabulous projects. And so we hope that you enjoy them as well as we enjoy, making them and sharing our time with you. So thank you, Jimmy Lou from the Messy Craft Corner, for hosting this event every month for us and letting us participate and have fun with you. So it's always a fun time to do that. Let me just put my phone on Do Not Disturb, although I did turn my ringer completely off, so hopefully we won't have anybody bothering us with that, right? Let me get to where I can see comments the best way possible, because I don't want to miss any of our comments. And there we go. Hi, Susan. Hi, Estella. Hey, Martha. How are you guys? Oops, I got it going, but I didn't turn my sound off. So just before me was Sue B Designs. And then, so we've already had Crafting with Nani, with Liz, Crafting Time with Jamie too, with Jamie, and then Molly Young Artist, Sue B Designs was right before me. And so now we still have, then after me, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. So it's been a full fun day. Now, this concludes our 3-month stint on our friendship journal project for this month. I'm not done with mine. I'll still be working on mine some through the rest of this month. I'll be done by the end of the month, but that's how it goes. And you might watch everybody on their pages do some more. I think Liz was finishing hers up today. She went ahead and auctioned hers off today. How cool is that? That's kind of a fun thing, right? Oh my goodness. Because, what are we going to do with all of these journals? You got to have something to do with them, right? Something to do with them. So we're always buying all the stuff and getting all the stuff in, but eventually, you got to have something to do with it, right? So I am just going to get started right away. And you guys, if you remember, I don't know if you remember or not, but the one that I started had oh my gosh, where is the book? Oh, God. That would be bad. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Linda. Hi, Ruth. Thanks for sprinkling me out there, Jimmy Lou. Hey, Mary. Who else? Carrie's here. Okay, so let me change my view down here. Okay, so here is our book that we've been working on. And so this was my Friendship Files collection that I did. Now, when I started this book, it's a slip spine journal, but if some of you who are watching might remember that I did not bind these together for a signature. I wanted them to be kind of in that style of a flow journal, where that means you can take your pages in and out. Well, I'm glad I did that because, I was looking at this and I thought I really wanted to add some other kinds of pages in, which I didn't do. And I still haven't done that yet. So I've got some fun things that we are going to begin adding in today. And I also am going to start, I'm going to separate some of what I already had in there. Now, you guys, I like to put some vellum in if I've got some vellum. But I just had my regular vellum I have is just white. So I wanted to put something in that would be kind of fun. And I had this whole pack. And I thought I would try to find something, and I'm kind of leaning toward, I did thumb through, even though I just now opened it all the way. I did kind of thumb through here, and I think I want to use a piece of this because I can still see through it. It's sheer enough that I'll be able to see through, right? So I think that will be the one. And you guys, this is so exciting. I put in a new blade into the paper trimmer. So that should be good. Okay, so let me think about this for a second. How big are these pages? Well, they would have been a little bit less than 8.5 by 11. Let's see what they are. Yeah, about, if I trim this to about 10.5, I'll be sure to not be running over. So you know, what do I want to do? Do I want to cut some off of each side? Hey, Kathleen, how are you? Hi. Hi, Jackie. Welcome. We're so glad to have you. Where are you from? I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. Where are you watching from? Welcome, welcome. You'll love all of our creators here in our group. Oh, you know what? Let me, as long as I'm going to cut it. One weighs 10.5. How tall do we need it to be, you guys? Let's check it out. I'll do 8.25. So 10.5 by 8.25, and that way we won't have to worry about it. Okay, hi Deborah. Hey Teresa. Hi Sue. Everybody's popping in. Welcome, welcome everybody. I'm so glad to see you today. So let me see. Do we, you know, what do we want to do? Do we want to have this? You know what? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna separate these. I just told you I was gonna separate them. I almost did a giant boo-boo. I want to cut this straight in half. Right in half. Because I want to put some on both signatures. I've got that other slip spine ready. You know, let's see. You know what? Let's cut some off each side. Let's do that. Then we don't cut as much off of that. Let's see how that does. So we still want it to be 10.5. Oh yeah, I like that better. So now we still have, you know, most of our bunch of flowers that will be in the corner. So if we put it halfway in, we're still going to get some on each side, right? And maybe this one I'll do it a little bit different. Maybe I'll leave it on here. And let's just make this one at 10.5. And we will just take care of that. Okay, so I've got that. I've got some vellum I'm going to slip in. So they'll both be those pages. I've also got some of this, you know, I think this might have been old typing paper. I think it's vintage. I had that linen paper that I was using for a while, and I'm not sure what I've done with that little, it was like a little thin box of it. Do you guys remember how used to when we would buy some paper, it would come like in a little folder or, you know, a little box thing. And so you had like heavy, so it was protected in a little bit of, you know, heavier paper. Who remembers that? You know, isn't that crazy? We don't see anything like that anymore. Hi, April. How are you? Hi, Susan. I love your journal. It's coming along so great. Hi, Debbie. So again, then this one is going to be, we decided 10.5. I don't really want it. It's so thin. I don't really want it extending past the edges of the other pages. I just think that would be a problem. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim it at 10.5 as well. I wish I didn't have to cut off that fun edge, but you know, it'll be okay. I can live with it. And so we'll have to cut off some on this side too. So we said this one was about 8.25, and that'll give us 2 full sheets to insert. Okay. So got that. So I'm just making a little pile over here of the things we're going to insert. And look at this. Isn't this fun? This is kind of thick, but you know, I've got so much room left in my journal that I thought, why not? So again, I'm going to cut this in half. Actually, let's go ahead and trim a little bit off one way first, and then we won't have to mess with it. All those fun ads. You guys, I got some vintage magazines that, oh my goodness, they are so full of this kind of stuff, and I'm not sure. I need to really find out, but they are so old. I'm kind of thinking that I would be safe in scanning them and sharing them. But oh my gosh, they're so fun. Look at this. Look at these ladies. Oh, I love this one the best because you could see the women on it. And you know, we've always got friends out shopping, right? Look at that. Don't you think they're probably out shopping? Oh, what did April say? Thank you for the compliment. Oh, you know, you guys, April put together a friendship journal with my collection, and it is just adorable. It really is. So let's see. So 10.5. I'm going to leave the numbers on over there. It's kind of too bad that I can't use the whole piece, right? But my pages aren't that wide. Hey Liz, how are you? Your book has just come along so great. I love it. And once we get started in here, you guys, you can still get the Friendship Journal digital printable collection. You can still get it. Just go to my website, myartfuladventures.com, and up on the top is a link to sign up for the newsletter. That's how you get them. Now, even though those aren't coming out each week in the newsletter anymore, you can still get them, because once you sign up, you'll get a link that will take you to a page that you can still get them. It's down kind of towards the bottom. Let's see, what am I doing? This, you know, I probably need to fold these in half, right? So again, that's going to be the 10.5. I want to leave this on. These came out of an old Kohl's directory. Does anybody know about those? They had everybody's information. It is so funny to know the kind of information that was just, you know, out in the public in a book. So these had a person's name, and I believe that these were by streets. I think that they were by street names, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to look at the beginning of the book. But here's like the house address. The house address is first, and then the person's name, and I think that was it. And then there's all, I want to say that this was a area code up in the corner. Tells what year it was. This was in 1970 in Fort Worth. But how much fun is that? I just think that is so cool. Now, are these too tall? Yes. Oh, but look, we can cut it off this way. I kind of want to leave the raggy edge on, though. You know what? Let's do this. Let's try and just tear some of it off. I don't want to do that. Let's tear some off. I like to use, I don't have one of those fancy tear edge rulers. How many of you have one of those cool metal rulers that gives you a great edge to tear from? Anybody? Anybody have one of those? But now I don't know how high I need it. I swear, if I could get a, well, if I go right to the edge of where the print is, that'll work. Let's do that. Yeah, sometimes I think there is nothing in here that I probably don't have, and then I'll think of something. Nope, I didn't have it. All right. So I'm just going to try and rip it. You want to have it kind of tight. Let's see. So just hold it tight, move on down so you can keep it tight all the way as far as you want to tear. Ta-da! Look, I did it. Woohoo, I did it. Look, this one has a lot better of a tear surface on it. Look at that. So that's kind of cool, because then it matches the other torn edge, right? Okay, so we'll put that in our pile to add in. We got all these things. We're going to separate them. Okay, now I've got some envelopes. What I want to do with these is I want to cut the edges off. You know, I guess I could actually just use my scissors. I wouldn't even mind just cutting them with scissors. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're going to fold them in half like this. You know what? Let's also cut this part off. Let's cut that off. And it'll, well, no. No, if we do that, because I was thinking about folding it in half this way, cutting these off, and then it would be pockets. But if you don't have that seal, that's going to be kind of weird. Let's don't do that. Let's don't do it. Oh, Martha says she has three of those. Mary has 4 of them. April doesn't have any either. April, we're going to have to do something about that, aren't we? We're going to have to find some inexpensive ones. Hi, Capri. How are you? Hi, Gail. Thanks for popping in, everybody. You know, I don't know if Jimmy Lou has announced publicly what next time's theme is going to be for the next 3 months' time. So I'm not going to tell you. She might tell you on her live. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out, won't we? Okay, so we'll take that. Hey, Brenda, how are you? Hey, Teresa, Janet, Maritza. Oh, we got all kinds of people popping in. April. You know what, April? Do you have just a metal ruler? You know, did you notice how I got, you know, a fairly decent tear just like that? I don't know. I've never done much with just a regular, oh, look, did you see me? You know, I heard a lady, she's British, and you know what she calls when you trim off a tiny bit? She calls it a fly's eyelash. I'm like, that is too funny. I like that. I think that's clever. Fly's eyelash worth. So we'll just do both of these. Let me see. I've got to move. I've got something on my screen. I need to move. There we go. Ta-da! Martha, are yours, do they have different edges on them for, you know, different ways to, that your tear would look? Hi, Jamie. Welcome. Jamie, I didn't even get to watch yours. I've got to do a replay on yours. It took me 1 hour to figure out what was going on and fix my software stuff that I use here all the time. I was not happy. All of a sudden, when I tried to set up my my thing to go live, it wouldn't connect with Facebook. It first told me it wasn't connected to Facebook to log in, so I did that. Then it told me, oh no, I needed to go remove the app, and I mean, all kinds of stuff. And I just thought, you know what? That kind of stuff is just maddening. I do not like when technology is like, when it works great, fine, and then otherwise you just want to like throw your computer across the room or something. Maybe that's just me, but I don't like it. I do not like it when it doesn't work. Now, I can, if I want something to match, all I have to do is put it, you know, just find where I just did it, and then, you know, look through here, and then just do my second one. Man, those things went flying. But think about this. It doesn't really matter on this because we're going to be putting this in between pages. So you're never going to see both sides at the same time, right? Martha says the red tear rulers have different edges and are plastic. Oh, they have some plastic ones on Amazon. Well, I don't know that I would like that. Debbie has a jaggedy one. All right. I'm just going to put this on here so it kind of helps you know that it's a pocket, right? Those things just go flying. So see this one? I'm just going to eyeball it and just do it. It was kind of hard to know. Oh. Oh, you can't see it, but it flicked up and was stuck on me. Okay, so now we've got those. And I got some music. I didn't put any music in this. You got to have some music, right? You got to have the music. Oh, look at that. That's very different. I like that. And, you know, it just depends on the nature of how you think about your journal. Can you stand for your music pages to go sideways? Okay, I want to know who puts their music in just like this so they can get more, you know, more paper, like for a regular size page, and how many of you put them the direction that they actually go? So do you put them long ways or sideways? I am so curious because I probably do a little of both. So there's that one. That is really funny that looks so different, you know, with these, whatever that is. They're just scales. It's some kind of practice scales. So if we go back here, these look more like, you know, regular pages. But there's no words. No words, it's just music. And I can live with that. But I always like to add some, you can't stand the sideways. I know. Capri says she doesn't have a preference, just whichever way. Debbie says long ways. Oh, Ruth says she has 30 pairs of scissors that cut any kind of way, box cuts, and all different types of designs because ripping is kind of hard. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Isn't that something? Okay. Let's trim these up. Well, I don't know. We don't really need to do that. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Okay, well, now here's a problem. I was just going to turn this up But then we've got upside down music. Do we want upside down music, or should we cut and paste it on? What do you think, you guys? Oh, April, I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm watching myself live too, and I haven't noticed any of that. So that might just be your connection. So just right. Martha, that could have been me, because I often do that. Well, let's see. Okay, if we're going to do one, you know, I think I'm going to, because this looks less like a song, I'm going to do this one this way. Except I think it's too long. Thanks for joining me to play with paper. One of my favorite things on earth. It's just fun. Just lots of stuff going on. Okay, well, I hate trimming all of that off. What if I'm going to try this. I'm going to go close down here, and then I'm going to see how far that gets us to the other edge. I'll still end up cutting that off. Let's do this. Well, I'm just going to live with that. I'm just going to cut it. It might cut the part of that off, but I still have some of the other stuff there. I can live with that. And then it has to be 8 1/4 high. So I'm going to have to trim a little bit off. Let's try again. Let's try not to cut, or let's try to cut as little as possible completely off. You guys, I don't know what to say. It's not, I don't see it doing it, and I'm watching on 2 different devices, so I don't know what to tell you. Hey, Ann Allen, how are you doing? Okay, so we got that one. And then this one I'm going to cut. So I'm just going to cut it at the 8 1/4, because that's how tall I want it. All right. And then one last thing to cut. Well, I'll wait in a minute. We'll do that. I might even just do that one by hand. So on this one, I'm just going to make a little pocket right here. And so I'm just going to glue the 3 sides. This way I won't have any music that's upside down. I'll still be able to get a pocket, but it won't be upside down. I'm so glad I thought of that. Oh, I'm glad not everybody is having that trouble. Thanks for letting me know, you guys. I appreciate it. Okay, so, oh shoot. That is like so, we need the ink. We've got to have some ink on here, you guys. There. And this color blended so well with the pages. This is that tea dye color. And it really has looked nice, I think. Of course, then what are you going to do? You're going to have to ink some of the rest. Just a little smidge. A smidge here and there, right? I don't know why that would matter, Tracy, if you went on the Junk Journal page, because it's the same video. Who knows, though? There is no telling. None at all. Okay, so now, I wish I would have folded that in half first. Because then, let's do this. Let's fold it here. And now I can still make a little thumb notch here. Okay. And let's just, I should have done that first. Just a little bit there, a little bit here. Okay, cool. All right. Hey Pam, how are you? Hey Penny. Okay, so now we've got those. Okay, so we've got those two. Where's the other one? Okay, here's the other. Music is here. Let's go ahead and start folding these, and we're gonna take the journal apart and put it kind of take it apart and put it back together, sorta not. I don't know. That one already got wrinkled. That paper is so thin, it gets super wrinkled pretty quick. So I'm just gonna, I've got so much junk under it I can't hardly see where the edge of the paper is. Okay, there we go. I'll just fold these. Hello Grace, how are you? It's good to see you. Uh-oh, I just saw, this is okay, it should resume shortly. Okay, well, we've had that happen before, so I'm just going to keep going. And I don't know what to say. That was so annoying. And so this one has a little bit of a map on it. So some of these are going to be a shorter page. I love these though. You guys, it finally did it to me too. So, you know, it'll finally pop back in. And, you know, if you end up watching the replay, it won't even, you know, you won't even notice that there was an issue. So, I don't know. Nothing I can do about that. I'm sorry though. I'm sorry. Okay. And these, it doesn't matter when you've got your vellum. Oh my goodness, this has been sitting there uncapped. That's a problem. Okay, I know. Susan, me too. It did for me too, so I know what you mean. We spoke too soon. It even froze for me. And it is again. Oh my goodness. You guys, what is going on with that? Okay, oh, and I did another doily. One side has a doily already, so now we're gonna get over here, and all we have to do is I'm just gonna slide all of them out just like that, and then we can kind of put some more together. Let's see, I wonder, most of these were just, well, I don't even know how many are in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so let's take out 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's take out these 5. And then we'll just start adding in some of these things. We'll just put them all together and just kind of sprinkle them in. Like that. And I don't even have to worry about, I don't remember what I don't have to worry about. I don't know. Something. So we'll kind of try to get, you know, some prints and interesting things. And you can, you know, when you've got short pages like this, you can either put them in the middle, you can put them down lower, but, oh, I know what I was going to say. We don't have to worry about where they are, like up and down, because we still go ahead and move them in here if they need to be moved, right? So, and there's still all kinds of other little tags and all kinds of goodies with the girls to make pockets and all kinds of stuff with. So I don't really have to feel like I am, you know, ruining the vibe of all of this. Here's a page. I just gotta, you know, kind of think about where I want to put them, just like all of you do. I'm gonna put this here. And then one of these. see. We've got the piece of vellum and that. And then let's put in one of our pockets. Put in a pocket right there. Okay. So we got all that. Okay, that really heftified it. It really did. Okay, so now we just take this stack and put it back in here into one of our bands, if we can get the band, and just slide it on in. Oops, my fan is blowing some of my paper off. Okay, so we got that one. And now we'll take our other little signature. I'm so glad I've put more things in here, because every time I would get this out, I'm like, that just doesn't seem like there's enough. Well, you know, of course it didn't seem like there was enough, because I had two. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to put something in between here. Oh my goodness. What in the world? You guys, why would that? Oh, I thought that was upside down. I'm like, why would one side of a music sheet be upside down? Don't mind me. Oh, April, I'm sorry you're still having so much problem jumping in and out. Well, you know, we just never can help that. Whatever happens. I don't know. Is there bad weather around the country today? Sometimes that makes a big, big difference. Can make a huge difference. So I don't know if that is happening today or not. Okay, so we've got, where's my vellum? Here's another plain piece. I don't want that in the middle. And you get to flipping through these, and it's, let me see here. You gotta make sure they're all on here. Okay. Don't worry, guys, I'm still gonna make some stuff. So, why am I having so much more trouble sticking them in this one than the other one? Okay, let's do this. Okay, now we got it. Now we've got a full, much fuller. Oh, we didn't put another pocket. Let's put the pocket in. I'll just put it here. Okay, so now then we can just stack these all up. But you know, you don't have to do any sewing for this kind of a, you know, to put your journal together like this. And me, I'm always changing my mind about what I wish I would have put in the journal, right? So for me, this was perfect this month. Okay, look at that. Now we've got all kinds of goodies in here. Now, I had a couple of tags that I thought would be fun. You know, just because a collection has something that comes to you one way doesn't mean that's the way you have to use it, right? So, and for those of you who have jumped in here late, so we are in the Junk Journal Jamboree. The group is Junk Journaling Jamboree, and it's a free group on Facebook. And so once a month we come together and we have our event. And so the last several months we've had a 3-month theme. So this month was about friendship. And so that was, you know, why you'll find everybody's journals this time are about friendship. And so today I am 5th in our lineup. And so you can go back into the Junk Journaling Jamboree group and find the replays of everybody. And then following me today, we still have Funky Junk Inspiration with Christy, and then Hanging with Mama Hall, Carrie, and then the Messy Craft Corner with Jimmy Lou. We've got Becky at Becky's Whimsy, and then Cynthia with The Shabby Heart by Vines, and then another Christy with Christy's Crafty Cottage. So you guys, we still have a long lineup for today. Lots of fun people. So let's see, I think I have some more of these little ones. So here's some of the little girls here. Now, I don't want to this one looks like they're sharing an ice cream cone. Why? I don't know. Oh, maybe she's giving it to her. Sorry. Now, I want to make sure that I've got enough room to trim off at the top. Where's my paper trimmer? I'm gonna make a hidden paper clip out of this. And so I don't really need this, and I don't want that place that was meant to be a hole. I don't want that showing either. So I'm just gonna trim this off. Well, it still shows a tiny bit, but not as much. Not as much. And now I can just hold this up here. That hole looks like it's about in the same place for both of them. So this is what I'm gonna do. There, ta-da! All right, and it has a tiny bit of a curve on the bottom, so let's go ahead and just continue that. Well, thanks, Sue. I appreciate that. Okay, and then, you know, I like to always add like some map paper and things like that, and then I thought, you know, my map books, they look like, you know, they came out of an atlas, right? And so they are not really colors that I thought would look really good for this. And then I realized I had some paper packs. They're like cardstock and they're a little bit heavier, but I'm like looking at that and I thought, you know what? I think there's some in here that the tones would look pretty good. So I thought, well, that was kind of fun to do. Okay, so now if I was smart, I'd have done it this way and matched them up. So that's what I need to do. I need to trim those babies up so they match. I could ink it too, but let's just start by making them better lining up in the first place. Okay, so because we're not making a whole long strip, we'll have to have something for the paper clip. You guys, those brown envelopes that I used, this is what came in them. I got the wrong kind of a thing, and this was what it was. It wasn't note cards. It was this. I'm just like, oh my word. So there's that. So I don't need these to be quite as tall. So I'm going to bump this up here like this. And then I'm just going to make a little mark so I know kind of where I need it to go. And now I will cut off a strip. Well, I wonder if it would have... I probably could have cut it, turned it that way, and done it in... You know what? Well, it doesn't matter. I already got a mark. Where is my mark? Oh, there it is. My goodness. Oh, I cannot see it. I honestly can't see it when I put it down. Here, I'm going to put it closer to me. There we go. Now I can see it. I don't know why I didn't replace my blade sooner. That's such a nice thing to have, is a blade that cuts nice. And I don't like this. Okay, so we need to get our paper clip. And then just kind of fold this. We just need it long enough. Well, no, I want it to be long enough for my paper. Don't mind me, people. Just sometimes it doesn't even matter if I've made things who knows how many times. I get on here and it feels like I'm making it up as I go along. Well, I kind of am, because, you know, a lot of times you can make your strip and it just fold it like a W and that works super good, right? Okay, so let's trim it off. And this is a lightweight cardstock anyway, so even if it doesn't go clear to the bottom, that's going to work pretty good. Okay, so now I need to get my, do I have any tape here? Oh, I do. I have a tiny bit of tape. I just want a tiny bit to help me stick it down. Okay, and I want to leave it up a tiny bit because I want to be able to put some ribbon in there. And oh, you know what? Oh, hey. This will be smarter. Let's put it in now before we even put it on. Why wouldn't we do that? That'll be much easier. Let's just put some on. We can put however much we want. Oh, this is really fraying. And can we get some? Oh, yes. I was afraid that was going to be a problem. So we'll just dab it on here. That is such a mess. And you can either tie it once we get it on here. You know what? Let's just cut this piece about in half and use 2 of them. I'm not going to mess with that anymore, but you can see how you can, you know, use that. And then we'll just put some here. And let's take these. Make it kind of a fun thing. I'm just going to put 3 of them. And let's just tie it at the edge of the paper clip. So you want to make sure you get it on the right, you know, the right end of the paper clip, because this has to go over the paper. So we're going to pull these in here. Man, I tell you, an hour seems like a long time today. I don't know why. Like and even the other ladies, I'm like thinking, it seems like everybody is getting so much done today, and I'm like, I don't know, I must have some kind of a time issue today. No, I do not know what the scoop is. So I'm just going to pull this through here. Now, if you didn't want to really knot it, you're going to pull it down there tight anyway, so you wouldn't have to probably. So we'll just have all of that just like that. I don't know, I don't really like that. I am not going to do that, you guys. Change my mind. I don't like it. Okay. I'm going to kind of find it halfway again. All right. That's it. That's the final thing for this. We're going to push it all the way down here and get it tight. You know what I would do? Now, I'm not going to do this right now, but after a while, I'm going to go in through here and I'm going to put a little bit of Fabri-Tac on all of these pieces and, you know, get them to stick together like that. And that way they for sure aren't going to be coming out, right? Now, my glue, that reptile glue that I use, will stick this down here, but I don't want to wait that long. Oh my goodness. But will it stick? If she can get it out there. Oh my goodness. We'll get it out there. Hello, Wiley. How are you? Okay, so I'm just going to get that on there. And I'm going to put another bit of glue. Okay, so now I'm just going to put a tiny bit. Oh my goodness. If you got some washi tape or something, you could do that too. You could use a little bit of double-sided tape on the back to get it to stick for a little while. I just want something to kind of hold it down a minute in place while I get the other part on. I don't want that wiggling all around. Who knew doing a paper clip could cause me so much trouble? Okay, so let's get the girls on here. And we'll just go ahead. Now, my little paper here is a little bit bigger than this, so that's going to make it easy for me to just go ahead and put glue all on here. And then just stick it on here like that. And then just do the other side. Yeah, those things. I didn't like the knot. How many of you do that? I'm doing fine, thank you. Okay. And now we'll just put this one on. So now you can see why we want, oh, I gotta be careful, you guys. I see a problem. I gotta make sure that we're not touching our papers to each other and glue the bottom shut. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine? Hey, Lori, how are you? Hey, Teresa. Hi, Michelle. Welcome in, everybody. Hey, Linda. Okay, so now then, woohoo, we finally got it. I would kind of, and here's what I was saying about, we can try a little bit. I'm going to have to get some new Fabri-Tac. It's gotten where it's so hard to get it out. I heard somebody talking about how much they loved like a new bottle of Fabri-Tac because it's so easy to squeeze it out. I'm like, yeah, no kidding. So true. Okay, so let's just do this. Let's just take some, if we can get it out. There we go. Just a tiny bit, and then just lay them on each other. We'll just, as long as we put just a little bit down here at the bottom, that's where I want it, just to just lay on each other. And just put them, that way you can put them wherever you want to. And get them to fluff out there. And then just this one. Just like that. And now I didn't have to tie a knot. They're going to stay where they need to stay. Well, isn't that smart? Thanks, Becky. Oh my goodness, you guys, check that out. Now, because that was a lot of stuff in there to make a knot. I did not like that. I'm still going to go back and I'll trim those things off because I don't like that. And those things just tend to just keep raveling. So I don't really want those to continue to ravel. But I think these need a nice little bit of some ink. And I think because of the color that those already are. Oh, you guys, I just saw a pair of glasses. I wondered where they were. I thought they were in here in my craft room. And I just saw them. Okay, so I want this to be a little bit darker. So I like that one better. So you guys, we rearranged the book today, and which you can do easily in a no-sew journal when you've put that slip spine in, and use kind of that flow method of a journal. So that was kind of fun. I was glad to be able to add all that stuff and take it apart. Although I will tell you, even if it was sewn together, unless it was somehow bound in to where I couldn't get to it, I've been known to take them apart anyway and redo them. So that's not anything new. How many of you have done that? How many of you have taken apart journals so you could rearrange pages or add other stuff in? I want to know who else has done that. I bet I'm not the only one, right? I am not the only one. I can hardly wait to see everybody else's. And so you guys, next time, so I'll be, finishing up this as we go along and through the month so I can finish this. And then next month will be the theme. And you guys, I have to put something on the front too. And I don't know, I really like this little picture. I might put another one here on the front and use that as my front cover picture. I'm just not sure. So now look at all these fun things. And then I've got other tags here. Oh, and this kind of goes along with what I was saying before. Just because something was like a tag doesn't mean you necessarily have to, use it as a tag. Now there were some of these that were a little bit, chubbier tags, and those could be cute to put in these pockets and make them and right, that's how it goes. Pam says she's guilty as well. I don't know that it's guilt. I don't know that we should describe it as that. But, hey, if you want your thing different, right? You want it the way you want it. And as creators, and you're creating that, that's a fun thing to do. Okay, so now we could maybe put some of these girls in here, and I've got a little bit more of this rickrack. Let's put some of that in here. Now, I have got to find another, I keep saying this, you guys, every time I make a hole in here. Oh, this one might be close. Well, no. Those cheap paper punches are just about the perfect size for some of these. There, I got that one out. And I don't know what I did with mine. I can't find it anywhere. Thank goodness they aren't all that expensive, right? So let's just tuck this in here. And this one I will tie a little knot on. And you know, you can either tie these and tie a little knot like this, or this is probably my preferred method. Oh, you can't even see it. My preferred method. Anne says she likes slip spines for that very reason, right? You can also double it up, put it through the hole, and then, I don't want to get this too far. This rickrack is catching on everything, and I can tell it's going to be hard to tighten it up. Those little curvy spots are catching. Oh my goodness. I can do it. My goodness, that's going to be hard. Okay. Let me pull it to the front a little bit. Get it loosened. Okay, there we go. And one of the reasons I like to do it like this is because then those come out, you know, I just like them. That's my favorite way. That's my preferred method. So now we've got these little pockets here, and we could stick some of those in there going sideways, you guys. So that's, you know, that's the way that I like it. What do you guys like? Do you like tying it or doing the, I'll call it the loop method. Do you like tying or doing the loop? I am curious. Curious minds want to know. So now we've got our little gals here. You know, and even a paper clip is fun to add some interest. Like here's some pages that don't have any of the pictures of the girls on them, and we can pop that on there. Look how fun that is. Oh, I heard somebody saying they didn't put any belly bands on. I didn't even get that far either, so there's none of those in here. But look, this is cute. I love this. I think there's another little chubby tag there too. I don't know where it went. But those are perfect because those little pockets are kind of wide. I don't know what I did with it. Anyway, oh, you know what? I've got some of these things that I had cut off. Hey, that would be the perfect thing for a belly band, you guys. Look at that. We could do one of those and just do it right now, real quick. Do a long one. We'll do a tall one right here. How's that for working to the end? Working until the very end. You guys, let's be sure. I hope you are watching in the, I don't know which one I want to use. I'm going to use this one. Be sure, I hope that you are watching in the Junk Journaling Jamboree group, because now all you have to do is just refresh your page and our next person will pop up. So let's go over and see what Christy is doing at Funky Junk Inspiration. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks, Jimmy Lou, for having me.